If you're over 60 and you're still doing walking lunges, I want you to stop right now. I know that sounds dramatic. You've probably heard for years that lunges are one of the best exercises for your legs. And for younger bodies, that's absolutely true. But after 60, your knees are not the same knees you had at 40. The cartilage that cushions your joints has thinned out. Your balance isn't what it used to be. And one wrong step in a walking lunge can send you to the floor. And at our age, a fall is not just embarrassing. A fall can mean a broken hip, months of recovery, and for some people, it's the beginning of losing their independence. I don't say that to scare you. I say it because I care, and because there is a much safer way to get all the same benefits from a chair. And by the way, if the fear of falling is something you think about more than you'd like to admit, I've put together a complete guide that walks you through exactly how to get up safely from the floor, how to prevent falls before they happen, and how to rebuild the strength and balance that keeps you independent. I'll tell you more about that later, but for now, grab a sturdy chair and let's get started. Let's talk about what a walking lunge actually asks your body to do. You step forward with one leg, you drop your back knee toward the ground, then you push up and step into the next lunge. That sounds simple enough, but let me break down what's happening inside your knee during that movement. Every time you lower yourself into a lunge, your front knee is absorbing nearly 2.5 times your body weight. If you weigh 170 pounds, that's over 100 pounds of force going through that one knee joint. Now for a 35-year-old with thick, healthy cartilage and strong stabilizer muscles. The body handles that beautifully. But after 60, 3 things have changed and none of them are in your favor. Number 1, your knee cartilage has naturally thinned. It's not an injury, it's not your fault, it's simply what happens with age. Thinner cartilage means less cushioning. Less cushioning means more bone-on-bone pressure. And that pressure is what causes the pain and stiffness you feel the morning after a workout. Number 2, your balance systems have slowed down. After 60, the tiny sensors in your feet and inner ear that keep you upright don't fire as quickly as they used to. In a walking lunge, you're standing on one leg for a split second with every step. If your balance catches even slightly at that moment, you're going sideways, and there's no handle to grab in the middle of a gym floor. Number 3, and this is the one nobody talks about, your recovery time is longer now. A minor strain that a 40-year-old shakes off in 2 days can take you 2 weeks to heal. And during those 2 weeks, you're moving less. You're stiffening up. You're losing the very strength and mobility you were trying to build. So the exercise you chose to get healthier actually sets you back. This is not about being weak or old or out of shape. This is about being smart enough to work with your body instead of against it. Let me paint you a picture. And maybe you've seen this happen to someone you know. Mary is 67, and she's been going to the same fitness class for 3 years. One Tuesday morning, the instructor calls out walking lunges across the room. Mary is feeling good that day, so she takes a bigger step than usual. Her front knee drifts forward past her toes just a little. She feels a sharp twinge on the inside of her knee, but she finishes the set. That night, her knee swells up. By the next morning, she can barely put weight on it. 3 weeks later, she's still limping. She stops going to her class. She moves less. Her other leg gets weaker from compensating. Her confidence drops. All of this from one moment where her knee took on more than it could handle. Now imagine Mary had actually fallen during that lunge and found herself on the floor, alone, unable to get back up. That's not drama. That happens to thousands of seniors every single year. And the scariest part isn't the fall itself, it's the not knowing how to get back up. That's exactly why I wrote the Get Up Off the Floor guide, a complete, step-by-step book that teaches you exactly how to get up safely from the floor, from a chair, or from bed, no matter your fitness level. It also covers how to prevent falls before they happen and how to build the strength and balance to stay independent for years to come. I'll put the link in the description below, and I'll share more about what's inside at the end of this video. But first, let me show you the chair move that makes all of this unnecessary, because the best fall is the one that never happens. Alright, let's get into the move itself. I call this the seated step through. You will need a sturdy chair, not a couch, not a rolling office chair, but a solid dining chair or a folding chair that won't slide. Place it on a non-slip surface. If you have hardwood floors, put a yoga mat underneath. Now sit down, but don't lean back. Scoot forward so you're sitting on the front third of the chair. Your feet should be flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Sit up tall. Imagine there's a string pulling the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Place your hands on your thighs, or if you need extra stability, hold the sides of the chair. Here's the movement. Lift your right foot off the floor and step it forward as far as is comfortable. Your heel lands first, then the ball of your foot. Now here's the key. Your right knee should be directly above your right ankle, not pushed forward past your toes. If it's past your toes, bring your foot back a little. Hold that position. You should feel a gentle stretch in the front of your left hip and the top of your left thigh. That stretch is your hip flexor opening up. Now press through your right heel and push yourself back up to the starting position. Don't use momentum. Don't rock forward. Use your leg muscles. That's 1 repetition. Now let's do the other side. Left foot steps forward, knee over ankle. Feel that stretch in the right hip. Press through the heel and return. That's the seated step through. Let me tell you what just happened inside your body. Your quadriceps, the big muscles on the front of your thighs, just fired exactly the same way they do in a lunge. Your glutes, the muscles in your backside that keep you stable when you walk, they just activated. Your hip flexors just got a safe, controlled stretch, and your core had to engage slightly to keep you upright. You got all of that without a single moment of standing on one unstable leg, without pounding for 100 pounds of pressure through your knee, and without any risk of falling. If you only do one exercise today, this is the one. Before we add anything, let's make sure your form is perfect. I want you to watch for 3 common mistakes. Mistake number 1, leaning the upper body too far forward. When you step that foot out, your natural instinct might be to hunch your shoulders and lean toward your front knee. Don't do that. Keep your chest up and your shoulders back. You should feel like you're presenting your heart to the wall in front of you. Leaning forward puts your lower back in a vulnerable position and takes the work away from your legs. Mistake number 2, letting the front knee collapse inward. As you step forward, watch your right knee. It should stay in line with your right foot, not drift toward the center of your body. If your knee is caving in, it usually means your glute muscles aren't firing properly. To fix it, think about pressing your knee slightly outward as you step forward, just enough to keep it aligned. Mistake number 3, rushing. Every repetition should take about 4 seconds. 2 seconds to step forward and settle into the position. 2 seconds to press back up. If you're bouncing or moving quickly, you're using momentum instead of muscle. Slow down. Feel the movement. Quality over speed every single time. Now here's a quick test to see if you're doing it right. After you finish a set of 10 on each leg, ask yourself where you feel it. You should feel it in the front of your thighs and maybe a little in your backside. If you feel it in your knees, stop immediately. Either your knee is going too far past your toes, or you're stepping too far forward. Shorten your step and try again. If you feel it in your lower back, you're leaning forward, chest up, shoulders back. If you feel nothing at all, you may need to step a little farther forward or slow down even more. The goal is not to do 100 of these. The goal is to do 10 really good ones that your muscles actually feel. Once you can comfortably do 2 sets of 10 on each leg with perfect form, you're ready to progress. And this is where the seated step through really shines, because you can make it harder without ever putting your knees at risk. Level 1 is what you just learned, the basic seated version. Do this for at least 2 weeks, maybe 4, until it feels easy and your form is automatic. Level 2, add a pause. When you step forward and your foot lands, hold the position for a full 3 seconds before pressing back up. That pause eliminates any remaining momentum and forces your muscles to work harder. You'll feel the difference immediately. Level 3, remove the chair back support. This is a big jump, so don't rush into it. Move to a backless stool or the edge of a sturdy bench. Without the chair back behind you, your core has to work significantly harder to keep you stable. Your body will want to lean. Don't let it. Level 4. Add a resistance band. Loop a light resistance band around both thighs, just above your knees. As you step forward, the band will try to pull your knees together. You have to actively press outward against it to keep your alignment. This is fantastic for waking up those glute muscles that tend to get sleepy as we age. Level 5, the standing version. Now notice I didn't start you here. I'm putting this for 6 weeks into your journey. After you've built up significant leg strength and stability, stand behind your chair, holding the back for support. Step your right foot forward and lower your left knee toward the ground, but don't let it touch. You're doing a stationary lunge with the chair right there to hold onto if you lose your balance. The chair is your safety net, and if at any point this feels unstable, you go right back to the seated version. There's no ego in this. There's no award for toughing it out. The only thing that matters is that you keep showing up and you stay injury-free. Let me explain why this one move is so powerful. Because when you understand what's happening inside your body, you're more likely to stick with it. Every time you do a seated step through, you're strengthening for muscle groups that directly affect your quality of life after 60. First, your quadriceps, the muscles on the front of your thighs. These are your getting up muscles. Every time you stand up from a chair, get out of a car, or climb a step, your quads are doing the heavy lifting. We quads are the #1 reason older adults start using their arms to push themselves out of chairs. Build your quads and you keep your independence. Second, your glutes, the muscles in your backside. Strong glutes stabilize your pelvis when you walk, which means less wobbling, less limping, and less lower back pain. We glutes are almost always the hidden cause of knee pain, because when your glutes don't fire, your knees take over work they were never designed to do. Third, your hip flexors, the muscles at the front of your hips. After 60, these tighten up dramatically from all the sitting we do. Tight hip flexors pull your pelvis forward, which arches your lower back, which leads to chronic back pain. The seated step-through stretches these muscles gently and safely every single repetition. Fourth, your core stabilizers. Every time you sit tall and control that step forward, the deep muscles around your spine are working to keep you upright. A strong core is what keeps you from tipping over when you turn around to fast, or reach for something on a high shelf. Here's what I want you to notice. None of this is about looking good in a swimsuit. This is about getting up from the toilet by yourself when you're 85. This is about walking through the grocery store without holding onto the cart for dear life. This is about playing with your grandkids on the floor and being able to stand back up without help. And that last one, getting up from the floor, is something most people don't think about until they're already down there, heart racing, not sure what to do next. Inside my Get Up Off the Floor guide, I walk you through multiple techniques for getting up safely from any position, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So no matter where you are in your fitness journey, you'll know exactly what to do. It's not about living in fear of falling. It's about knowing that if it ever happens, you have a plan. Let me give you a plan you can start today. Don't overcomplicate this. The biggest mistake I see is people trying to do too much in their first week and then quitting because they're sore or discouraged. Here is exactly what I want you to do. Day 1, do 1 set of 5 repetitions on each leg. That's it. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. It will take you about 2 minutes. Then go about your day. Day 2, rest. Your muscles need time to recover and rebuild, especially after 60. Don't skip the rest days. They're when you get stronger, not when you're being lazy. Day 3, do 1 set of 8 repetitions. On each leg, you're adding just 3 reps per leg, still under 3 minutes of work. Day 4, rest again. Day 5, do 1 set of 10 repetitions on each leg. By now you should be feeling comfortable with the movement. Your body is learning the pattern and your muscles are starting to adapt. Day 6, rest. Day 7, try 2 sets of 10 on each leg with about a minute of rest between sets. If that feels like too much, do 1 set of 10 and 1 set of 5. Listen to your body. It knows more than any fitness plan ever will. By the end of your first week, you will have done this movement maybe 5 or 6 times for just a few minutes each session. And here's what will surprise you. Even with that tiny investment of time, you will start to notice a difference. Getting out of your chair will feel a little easier. Walking up that 1 step into your house will feel a little more stable. Your knees might feel a little less stiff in the morning. That's not a coincidence. That's your body responding to exactly the right stimulus in exactly the right way, without any of the damage that walking lunges would have caused. Before we wrap up, let me answer a few questions I know are on your mind, because I hear them all the time. First question: is it normal to feel some discomfort in my knees when I start? There's a difference between a stretch and a pain. A gentle pulling sensation in the front of your hip or thigh is a stretch, and that's good. But a sharp or grinding sensation inside your knee joint is pain, and that is your signal to stop. If you feel pain, shorten your step, slow down, and check your form. If the pain continues, talk to your doctor or a physical therapist before continuing. Never push through joint pain. Your body is telling you something. Listen to it. Second question: can I do this every day? I don't recommend it. After 60, your muscles need about 48 hours to fully recover from strength training. Doing this every other day is perfect. On your off days, walk, stretch gently, or do some light balance work, but give those leg muscles time to rebuild. Third question: what if I can't step very far forward? That's completely fine. Step forward just 6 inches if that's all your hip allows. Over time, as your hip flexors loosen and your strength builds, your range of motion will naturally increase. There's no minimum distance requirement here. Fourth question: will this help with my knee pain? It very often does, and here's why. Most knee pain after 60 is not from the knee joint itself being damaged. It's from the muscles around the knee being too weak to support the joint properly. When your quads and glutes are strong, they absorb the shock of walking and standing. When they're weak, that shock goes straight into the knee joint. By strengthening those supporting muscles in a safe, controlled way, you're essentially building a better shock absorber for your knees. Many people find their knee pain improves significantly within 3 to 4 weeks of consistent practice again. If you have severe arthritis or a diagnosed knee condition, check with your doctor first. But for the majority of people over 60, strengthening the muscles around the knee is the single best thing you can do for knee pain. Let me leave you with the most important thing to remember from today. You do not have to stop exercising after 60. In fact, you shouldn't. But you do have to exercise smarter than you did at 40. Walking lunges serve their purpose in your younger years. But now there are risks you don't need to take. The seated step-through gives you everything the lunge gave you: quad strength, glute activation, hip mobility, core stability with none of the danger. And it takes less than 5 minutes a day. Now, before you go, I want to tell you about something I created specifically for people like us. People over 60 who want to stay strong, mobile, and independent without the fear and confusion that comes with most fitness advice. It's called the Get Up Off the Floor Guide. And it's the resource I wish my own parents had when they started struggling with balance and mobility. Inside, you'll find step-by-step techniques for getting up safely from the floor, from a chair, or from bed, with beginner and intermediate variations so you can start wherever you are right now. There's a complete fall prevention home safety walkthrough so you can spot the hazards in your own house before they become a problem. There are simple strength and balance exercises you can do at home with no equipment, printable checklists and progress trackers, and even a dedicated caregiver guide for family members who want to help without hurting themselves in the process. Every page is written in large print, high contrast, with no medical jargon, and every fact is backed by trusted sources like the CDC, the National Institute on Aging, the World Health Organization, the NHS, and the Mayo Clinic. This isn't about living in fear of falling. It's about getting your confidence back. The link is right there in the description below. Tap it to grab your copy. Now here's what I want you to do right now. Pause this video, go get a sturdy chair, and try just 5 repetitions of the seated step through on each leg. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more ready, right now, while the instructions are fresh in your mind. Feel the difference. Notice how your muscles engage without your knees screaming at you. That sensation is your body saying thank you. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. It helps other people over 60 find this information. And subscribe to Healthy After 60 so you don't miss our next video. We release new content every week, simple, safe, practical exercises designed specifically for your body after 60. If you have questions about the seated step through or the get up off the floor guide, drop a comment below. I read every single one and I'd love to hear how you're doing. Now pause this video, grab that chair and take the first step towards stronger, safer legs. I'll see you in the next one.